Thanks so much for joining me today. I want to talk about approved screening devices that are used in Canada, and the main one that's used is called an alco test. What is an alco test? An alco test is the screening device that's used at the roadside. So for example, if the police pull you over and they suspect you're impaired, they smell an odor of alcohol, or they don't even need a reason to give you the screening test, they can just pull you over and giving it, believe it or not, new law, by the way, in the last few years. So what happens, they'll pull out this device, demand that you blow into it, you provide a sample into it. If you blow over 100 milligrams of alcohol or over in that device, and by the way, it's not calibrated 80, it's calibrated at 100. The legal limit's only 80, but it's just a screening test, but they give you the benefit of the doubt. So if you blow that or over, 100 or over, they're gonna take you downtown for the main test, the intoxilizer test, which are I'll call them the real breath tests. If you fail those, you're screwed. No, I shouldn't say that. You can potentially defend those too. So how do you defend a case where there's problems with the alco test? What are possible problems? Well, first of all, defense lawyer doing one of these cases has to be an expert in the alco test. You have to know how it's calibrated. You have to know the maintenance issues. You have to know about user error and how they're operated. It's very important. So when I get the disclosure, the officer has to describe these things. So they're going to talk about how they use it, how it was set up, the calibration. It has to be calibrated every so many days. Maintenance has to be proper on it. And in the moment, it has to be used properly. It's surprising how many mistakes are made with this, and I can recognize them in a case that any good DUI lawyer will. And I can also recognize them in the middle of a trial when they're making errors about not describing things properly. It's not set up properly. So if one of those things breaks down, you can challenge it, and those results can potentially get thrown out, and then they have no grounds to bring you down to the police station, and everything gets thrown out. So that's important. One other issue which arises a significant amount of time is what's called mouth alcohol. So let's say an officer pulls you over and he knows that you just came out of a bar, for example. Well, that could present what's called mouth alcohol issues. Those tests, those devices, if you have a drink, there's going to be mouth alcohol. So if you blow in that device within 15 minutes of your last drink, it's going to automatically blow over because it's detecting the mouth alcohol. If the officer knows that and asks you that question or knows you just came out of a bar, it may present a mouth alcohol case, especially if you testify that you did have a drink the last 15 minutes, or the officer may in fact know that from, and it's surprising the number of officers who don't wait long enough in these situations, and the proper procedure would be to do so. That would be a Section 8 charter application to challenge the search and seizure because the officer knows that mouth alcohol could have affected the results. So these are ways to challenge the approved screening device. It is an accurate device, by the way, as long as it's calibrated, maintained properly, operated properly, and there's no mouth alcohol. So those are the ways to challenge that test in court in a DUI trial. Thank you for watching our video. We are absolutely committed to bringing you the best possible criminal and DUI educational videos. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've been charged with a criminal offense in Ontario and require our services, please click on the link in the description below.